Welcome back to the VINwiki appraisal panel. I am Ed Bolian from VINwiki, and I am joined today by John Ficarra of Ficarra Classic, and we are appraising the unfathomably cool car collection of many crazy things of Cleetus McFarland. I don't think anyone has done a better job of true empire building with automotive content creation than Garrett Mitchell, and I am proud to call him a friend, and he's been a great collaborator on different things that we have done. I got to get him here to tell some stories soon, Garrett, but today we are going to run down his list and appraise his collection of cars. So John, thank you for joining me.
Hell yeah, brother!
Very fitting. And of course, today's video is brought to you by Auto Tempest. Auto Tempest is not the place where you'd find cars exactly in the state that we're going to be discussing them today, but whatever you are looking to start with, Auto Tempest is exactly the place where you should start searching. They compile the results from all the major listing sites into one place to make it easier and faster than you could possibly imagine to find precisely the car that you are searching the internet for. It's where I start most of my mornings looking for the next crazy car to buy, and I know Garrett does as well. And so we are going to run down this list, but I hope that you'll check out Auto Tempest in the background to look for whatever your next crazy automotive project might look like. So we're going to start with the Chevys, and one of them that's most well known on the channel is Leroy, and that is his C5 Corvette, a twin turbo LS setup, and it is a real legit 7-second car, and it's one of the strongest, most recognized cars by his fans. Got a funny car body recently. I think it's a $100,000 car, but I am so out of my element on this that we are going to have some kind of fudge factor throughout, but it is nuts.
Yeah, this is probably one of our hardest jobs we've had so far doing an appraisal, because there's no like going on the internet and researching a similar car to any of these things. They're all custom made. They're all, built with sponsored parts. Their value is in what they can do or what people perceive that they can do, and then his fame. So it's tough. Now, this is the argument of people always say, well, you can't build it for that. And that's always the truth. Like, you're always going to put a ton of more money into a race car than you're ever going to get out of it. Ever. And building horsepower gets exponentially more expensive as you start building it. And a 7-second car is over $100,000. You can't buy a 7-second car for that, for one that's safe. So, I mean, these numbers, I would say, are all guesstimates at best, and I put it at $125,000.
I like the argument. The next one is even crazier. It is Mullet the El Camino, 5,000 horsepower, twin turbo drag truck, 9.3 liter SMX V8. Just the motor was 90 to 120 grand, I'm told. And so, I mean, that thing's got to be worth 250. But is it really 5,000 horsepower? I mean, is that just a clickbait thing?
No, well, you can make that kind of power. I mean, dragsters will make serious power. Now, once you make that power, you bring it back and you rebuild the engine. And there's fabulous videos on YouTube watching these guys literally. Car comes back, they roll it back, they rip the heads off, and they rebuild the engine in like an hour, and then go out and make another top fuel run again. Yeah, you can make that kind of power. People are like, there's more heat and power inside of a dragster than there is on the surface of the sun, and the physics aren't too far from that. Now, building a car like this, I believe this is a Steve Morris motor. They start at like $75,000 a piece. Then you add on to them if you want to beat the other guy that's got a Steve Morris motor. But going and then trying to sell one is the problem. Are you buying that motor brand new? No. Are you buying the chassis brand new? You're buying something else. I was a little more conservative with my number at 225, and again, who knows?
I can't argue with you there. The next one's a little bit milder. It's his twin-turbo C6 Corvette Ruby. Really a track and event car. Something you could actually take somewhere, which I can appreciate in an automobile. But yeah, great C6, 50 grand.
Yeah, I mean, twin-turbo vet, track use. I think for the right person, Ruby's actually a car that you or I could get into and not kill ourselves. So I think, the right person, I think that's a $60,000 car.
Now, the next one is his craziest build, the Eagle. The Camaro with 5,000 horsepower as well, 564 cubic inch, Proline billet Hemi V8. He said that was 100 to 150 just for the motor. Based on a Z28 Camaro, which already is a valuable starting point. Most extreme build that he has got, and certainly as premium as it could possibly be done. I think that is right now the hero car of the channel, and so I said 500 grand.
This is an extreme build. This is a professional build. This is something you'd see on professional racetracks. It is a beast of a car. When you add up all the parts, there's easily $500,000 worth of work there. I have a hard time valuing it $500,000. I don't think Joe Schmo's going to pull out $500,000. I think it's $450,000.
The next Chevy on the list is the C1500, the Craftsman all-wheel drive drag truck. Dale, amazing livery, as cool as it could possibly look, and it's all-wheel drive and LS swapped, as nostalgic for the Cleetus McFarland channel as we could ever be. These things are not crazy valuable, these sort of ex-NASCAR looking things, so I said 40 grand, but who knows, maybe a little more.
Yeah, this is again going back to you couldn't build it for that. It's a bonkers car. It goes 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. You can have a lot of fun with this car, and I think, honestly, somebody would drop 50 grand on it.
Next up, we've got the McFlurry Mustang. Rebuild project that he's still working on, but it's a Fox body, full drag car. It's Oreo livery. Not quite there yet, but I said 20 grand for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Fox body drag car. Those are relatively a dime a dozen. Again, it's about what's under the hood. When a drag car, it's all about the engine. You're just dragging along the rest of the car. It's pretty built. I would say we're where it's at now and where it's going. I say about 30 grand.
Now, one of the coolest things he's got on the fleet is his TRX. He's got a Ram 1500 TRX. It's probably got a crate motor in it, maybe a Elephant, but it's the mini TRX, so I love the way he's modified that one. I said 90 grand.
I think we're going to agree on this one. It's about 90 grand. He just did some more work to it. I think that thing's getting close to 1,000 horsepower. And he takes it out on the dunes. I mean, that looks like a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now, the other one that's a lot of fun for sure is the Camaro that is the Australian Burnout competition car. Super duper cool, kill a bee, 1,700 horsepower and supercharged. I mean, that's obviously a kind of its own niche, these Australian Burnout cars that can just sit there and roast tires and do so acrobatically and impressively. So I put that one at 100 grand.
Yeah, I mean, it's right-hand drive. The interior is relatively stock. They build these cars just to burn out. So again, it is just an engine shoved in a Camaro. It's nothing more than that, and it's I don't know. Again, you're buying the motor for this, a used motor at that. So I put it at 85,000.
Another Corvette in the fleet is a C5 Z06. One of my personal favorite Corvettes, I'll be honest, even though I've never thought of owning one. It's a drift setup with 680 horsepower from Texas Speed and a 427. He calls it Donnie, and I'm going to call it 75 grand.
I think this is the one that he just started fueling on nitromethane.
Oh.
Which, you run a drift car in nitro. I honestly... Just to breathe, people who have never smelled nitromethane, like when at the drags, you can barely breathe around this stuff. I don't know how he's driving inside of it. He's probably, bringing you down to the mixture down a little bit. But yeah, it's a bonkers car. Again, how do you put value on it? I put it at 70,000.
Another Corvette in the collection is the C7, 1,000 horsepower, pro-charged, bald eagle machine. I mean, a crazy build, but I guess relatively mild by the things it gets parked next to in the garage. I said 75 grand for that one too.
Yeah, 1,000 horsepower, it's got to be worth at least 85 grand.
Okay. He has a stock vehicle, a Ford Raptor R, and those seem to bring about $120, so that's where I put it.
Is it stock? I mean, here's the hard part with his channel, and I've watched many hours preparing for this, is that every time he puts out a new video, he kind of goes back and says, oh, by the way, we're doing this with this truck. And I don't think it's stock anymore. I think he did a blower on it or something. He can't leave anything alone. I don't think it's still stock. So because of that, I think I'm going to bump it up to 130.
I'm sure you're right. Nothing stays stock for long around the Freedom Factory. He's got one of the coolest things I see is a Bel Air limousine, 1957, a blown alcohol engine. Still an in-progress build, but just based on where he's at today, I said 40 grand.
I don't think you're too far. As the owner of a bizarre limousine, I appreciate this build. Staggering amount of Bondo being slathered on that thing. I was like, I hope people understand that he's joking when he was putting the Bondo on. Like, the people were taking notes of putting Bondo over rust was an okay thing to do. But if I was up against you at auction, Ed, I would want to win. So I put it at $40,001.
I like your style. Another Camaro, but not exactly anything remotely stock. It's got a Boeing T50 turbine engine, which apparently you can buy for 8 to 10 grand. But it's a drivable turbine vehicle, or turbine vehicle, if Steve Leto is saying it. About as cool as it gets. I said 100.
Yeah, the turbine cars. I mean, there's a turbine 928 that people keep sending me. They're popping up here and there, and you can get those old helicopter motors. Not too expensive. Now, plumbing him in and getting him to work. I mean, people have to appreciate the work that's going on at Cleetus's place, the modifications that have to happen to handle this kind of power, not to twist a vehicle into a knot when you turn on the throttle. But I think that thing was super cool. I'd like to own it. I put it at 120.
Up next, he has got a Porsche 991 Turbo S. It's a 991.2 car. I believe a relatively stock, or at least Cleetus stock car. These things, I believe, represent like the best value in the spectrum of 911s, to be quite honest. I put it at about 130, and when you think about how modern it is, how usable it is, and how fast the thing is, I don't think you can beat the car from a performance and usability perspective for that kind of money.
I totally agree, and when people ask me about newer 911s, this is one I point them to. Tremendous car. It's a 200-mile-an-hour car, and it's like you're sitting on a couch. Like, very drivable, very tractable, very sturdy car. They're going for pretty good money. I don't know what the miles on with this. That would make a big difference for this car since it's newer, but I put it at 140,000.
He's got another Porsche 991 Turbo, but it is a GT2 RS, which is a very, very special car. And when I numbered this thing as we started researching this a couple of weeks ago, I said 450. However, they all brought 800 or more at Monterey Car Week's auctions. And so his is not a paint to sample spec, but it has still gone up from there. So I'm actually going to raise that, I guess. It's probably worth 600 grand today.
Whoa. Yeah, and I saw those going as well, because I think my original number was 425 before the auctions. So I have to agree. I don't know the car, but let's just add another $100,000 to that. Why don't we?
He's got a couple of big Panther body cars. Obviously, he has a yard full of them, and so we're going to kind of have a catch-all category at the end of this. But he has a Marauder and a Crown Vic that are both heavily built, turbocharged cars. Well, the Marauder's turbocharged. He's Coyote swapped and 1,000 horsepower supercharged the Crown Vic. I said that the Marauder was worth 15 and the Crown Vic was worth 25. Those particular ones built to the extent that they are.
Yeah, I think people will be like, $15,000, that's, you know. It's funny, Marauders has a crazy fan base, and this thing's got I think it has almost 700 horsepower. So I bumped it up a little bit more. I think it's worth about 20, and I think the Crown Vic, that's 1,000 horsepower. So you know, I think this is the best value per horsepower in any of his cars, because I put the Crown Vic at like 30 grand.
Well, whatever I have managed to do for Mercy values, Garrett has certainly done for the Crown Vic market, so we'll just have to follow his lead there. Another couple more Chevys. He's got a Tahoe that's built, very cammed engine and all this stuff. I said 30 on it. And a Spark. You gotta love his Chevy Spark, built for quarter-mile attempts and compact class appeal. Crouton is a really, really fun thing to see on the channel. For that one, I put 20 grand.
So for the Tahoe, you know, nice little customized Tahoe, I put 25. And for the crazy little Spark, I really like the Spark a lot. The Crouton's really cool. I agree with you at about 20 grand.
He's got 3 big Ford trucks. He's got a supercharged F-150 with 1,300 horsepower, just a ridiculous shop truck. And then a couple more, let's say, responsible shop trucks. He's got a 2024 red dually and a 2023 white one. For the F-150, I said 75. For the 2024, for both the dualies, I said 75 as well, just for the ease of math.
And I think that F-150, again, I think I caught in one of his videos that he's now modified that and it's now turbocharged or something. It's a turbo out of one of the other cars. So I put that at 70. Now the other F-350s, you know, those are really about miles because they're basically stock new trucks, both dualies. They hold their value tremendously. So I put those, not knowing the miles, at about 65,000 each.
Another shop truck is the Sierra 1500. It's a newer 2024 car, but he's got a turbo setup in progress on it last I saw. I put that one at 50.
Yeah, I saw that one. Isn't it like we're doing this and I'm like, oh, another turbo 1,000 horsepower truck. It's like, oh, we're just throwing these numbers out here. It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, what does all the horsepower at his shop add up to?
Oh, that's
what I'd like to know. Like, if you turned on all of his cars at the same time, and could you like change the rotation of the Earth? It's phenomenal. So the Sierra 1500, I put that at 40 grand.
We got give or take 25 cars here. I'm sure the average is over 1,000. So. It's got to be something crazy.
He could power a spacecraft or something with all of this. It's insane.
He's got a Freightliner Cascadia motorhome and toter home. I put $300 for that.
Yeah, those motorhomes and car haulers, I dealt a lot with those at Canopy because they also make those, and they would come in from time to time to be resold. They're a hard sale because there's a very small market for them. It really depends on the mileage and the build. I don't know a lot about this. So this could range from 250 up to 350. So I agree with you, kind of in the middle at 300, not knowing a lot about it.
Another very cool thing that we recently had on a birthday road trip to enjoy was an old fire truck. He's got a Pierce Lance. I just said $5,000. You can buy these things cheap because nobody's got anywhere to park them. But if I had a racetrack, I'd have one sitting around.
Oh, heck yeah. And up here in Northern California, I was actually thinking about buying one to protect my property from wildfires. For a running pumper truck that actually works, you're looking more in the $10,000 range. I don't know what year this thing is, but if you're looking at like a 80s, 90s one, it's probably $10,000.
And then, of course, we've got to say there's a whole yard of trailers and miscellaneous trucks and half-finished projects and Crown Vics for all the races. And so I just put another $300,000 for probably another 100 to 150 vehicles that are laying around the Freedom Factory.
Yeah, that's almost impossible. Like, I would hate to be an insurance adjuster going out on its property and just being like, I don't even know. So just to keep things tidy, I'll say $300,000 as well, because I have no idea.
So that takes my total up to about $3.3 million for Garrett's collection of cars, which is amazing that, you know, in his career of YouTubing, he's been able to amass that. Much less the fact that he has an airport, a racetrack, a NASCAR team most weeks. I mean, it is crazy what he has built, plus the boats, plus the helicopters, all the stuff. And so I could not be any more prouder of everything that he's accomplished. I know his team has come along to help him, and he's just got a great thing going down there, and I cannot wait to see what is next for Cleetus McFarland.
Yeah, I'd say hell yeah, brother. You know, you're living the best motorhead life you possibly can. It's an inspiration to see the stuff you're doing. You're bringing your lads up with you, and you have a great kind of automotive family down there, and you're doing these amazing builds, and you're entertaining and educating a lot of people and doing a fabulous job. I hope to meet you someday. I hope to maybe race against you someday, and I wish you the best.
Once again, thank you for joining us for a VINwiki appraisal panel, and thank you to Auto Tempest for sponsoring today's video. Check them out, please, right now at the link in the description below. You clicking that button is what helps them continue to support us to come up with crazy ideas for videos like appraising the insane car collection of Cleetus McFarland.